So I keep that in the front and center, but they were smaller parts. I wanted to have them close with me.
God never gives anyone everything. That is probably true. There have been many famous stars and influential figures who have had a brilliant career that many people dream of. But when looking at their personal love lives, we see sadness, love affairs that quickly ended, broken marriages. And Kevin Costner is a typical example of that, an actor and director with many roles, successful films, and many awards. A famous name in Hollywood both in terms of career and personal life. Kevin Costner is a ladies' man. He has experienced many love affairs, some of which led to marriage, but then for many reasons they broke up. After those losses, fans wonder when Kevin Costner will find his true love, find someone to accompany him for the rest of his life. This will be in the next few minutes of the video, so wait to leave, but watch till the end. Family and education. Costner was born on January 18, 1955, in Linwood, California, and grew up in Compton, California. His parents are William and Sharon Costner. He is the youngest of 3 sons, his second brother having died at birth. His father was an electrician and utility manager, and his mother was a welfare worker. Costner is descended from German immigrants who arrived in North Carolina in the 1700s, and he also has English, Irish, Scottish, and Welsh ancestry. Costner was raised a Baptist. As a child, Costner was not a good student or did well in school, but he was very athletic, especially in soccer. Costner took piano lessons and sang in the First Baptist Choir. Costner has said that he had few friends as a teenager because he moved frequently after his father's career took off. Costner lived in Ventura, then Visalia. Costner attended Whitney High School, where he was in the marching band. Costner graduated from Villa Park High School in 1973. He played baseball at Villa Park and was teammates with Dennis Burt. He earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from California State University, Fullerton in 1978. While at CSU, he became a member of the Delta Chi fraternity. He developed a love for Westerns when he saw How the West Was Won in 1962 as a child. Costner became interested in acting and dancing during his senior year of college. His inspiration to become an actor was Richard Burton, an actor he met by chance in 1978 while on a plane returning from a stay in Puerto Vallarta. At the time, Costner was unsure whether he should become an actor, and he went to Burton for advice. Costner has said that Burton encouraged him to pursue acting. Costner has also said that he asked Burton if it was possible to become an actor without having a chaotic personal life. According to Costner, Burton replied that he thought it was possible. And then, Costner began taking acting lessons and landed his first acting roles. Early days in Hollywood. Kevin Costner's journey to Hollywood prominence was characterized by modest beginnings and uncertainty, which did not reflect the glitz and glamour that are typically associated with his later career. When Costner made his film debut as an extra in the 1982 comedy Night Shift, his initial foray into Hollywood scarcely registered in the public consciousness. He played a nondescript partygoer, a role that would be disregarded by many, but which served as his entry into the industry. During the same period, Costner appeared in commercials and other minor film roles, including a role in Sizzle Beach, USA. Despite being produced in the late 1970s, this film was inconsistently released, which resulted in a lack of clarity regarding the precise beginning of Costner's film career. The pivotal moment occurred when director Lawrence Kasdan cast Costner in a minor role that was ultimately eliminated in The Big Chill, 1983. Despite the fact that his sequences were edited out of the final film, Kasdan was sufficiently impressed to guarantee Costner a more significant role in a subsequent project. Silverado, 1985, a Western that exemplified Costner's rugged on-screen presence and charm, fulfilled this pledge. Audiences were captivated by his portrayal of the spirited cowboy Jake, which signified a substantial shift in his career trajectory. Costner's career trajectory experienced a substantial increase subsequent to Silverado. In 1987, he was cast as Elliot Ness in The Untouchables, a film that featured him in opposition to historical gangland figures and alongside Hollywood titans such as Sean Connery and Robert De Niro. His portrayal of Ness was characterized by a focused intensity that resonated with both audiences and critics, firmly establishing him as a capable leading man in high-stakes roles. In the years that followed The Untouchables, Costner selected roles that were in accordance with American sensibilities and suited his strengths. He was notable for his roles in Bull Durham, 1988, and Field of Dreams, 1989, both of which incorporated the themes of baseball, America's national pastime, into their narratives. Bull Durham exhibited his charismatic screen presence and affinity for the sport, while Field of Dreams focused on the more emotive, nostalgic aspects of baseball and personal redemption. These roles cemented Costner's status as a box office attraction and endeared him to fans as the quintessential representation of Middle America's hero. His ascent to fame was not solely the result of selecting the appropriate roles. It was also a testament to the work ethic that his father imparted to him. Costner frequently recited his father's advice, which underscored the significance of perseverance and diligence. This was a principle that Costner evidently internalized. This fundamental conviction enabled him to relentlessly pursue his aspirations and navigate the intricate dynamics of Hollywood. The first peak in the career. Dances with Wolves, 1990, marked the culmination of Costner's early career, during which he served as both the director and the lead actor. He was able to complete the film and achieve critical and commercial success, despite facing skepticism from within the industry regarding this ambitious undertaking. The film grossed over $420 million worldwide, received 12 Oscar nominations, and then won in 7 categories, including the 2 most important categories of Best Picture and Best Director. Kevin Costner received 2 Oscars for his role as director and co-producer of the film. The film also became the first Wild West film to receive an Oscar. This is the first Wild West film to receive the Oscar for Best Picture since 1931. It impresses the audience with its engaging plot, especially the romantic love story of John Dunbar and the girl Stands with a Fist is built wonderfully. The characters are all closely linked to each other. The film also brings epic and heartbreaking footage of the Wild West of 19th century America and satisfies the audience with sincerity and emotion in the acting of the cast. His multifaceted aptitude and vision were underscored by the numerous Academy Awards the film received, including Best Picture and Best Director. This project not only demonstrated his capacity to lead and direct a significant film, but also underscored his commitment to the development of visually spectacular, compelling narratives. Costner's career during these formative years was not solely influenced by his roles in front of the camera. It was also influenced by his strategic decisions behind the scenes. His path to renown was a result of his calculated risk of transitioning into directing, his selection of scripts, and his collaboration with seasoned professionals. Love and marriage. Nevertheless, the personal sacrifices and strains that had been the driving force behind Kevin Costner's increasing renown began to emerge as his star rose to its zenith. This foreshadowed a tumultuous chapter in his personal life that would challenge his picture-perfect public image, as well as the breakdown of his first marriage. During the initial years of his marriage to Cindy Silva, the couple shared mutual affection and support. However, as Costner's public profile increased, his personal life began to unravel, ultimately resulting in a public and expensive divorce that temporarily altered the public's perception of the actor. During their collegiate years at California State University, Fullerton in 1975, Kevin Costner encountered Cindy Silva. Silva was frequently compared to Snow White, a character she portrayed during her summer position at Disneyland, and was notably striking. Their connection was immediate and profound, resulting in a relationship that endured for years. They appeared to be a model couple, embodying young love and shared aspirations. During those initial happy years, the family expanded as Costner's career began to flourish. Annie was born in 1984, Lily in 1986, and Joe in 1988. The couple had 3 children during their marriage. Costner, a rising Hollywood star, was frequently absent from home as a result of his filming schedule, which was a significant burden for Silva, who was responsible for their household. This period was a challenge for their relationship, as they attempted to balance the demands of his burgeoning career with the responsibilities of family life. Cracks began to emerge in their relationship, despite the outward appearance of prosperity and stability. The 1990s presented Costner with new obstacles, as his roles frequently necessitated a charismatic and attractive leading man. This did not alleviate the escalating allegations of infidelity. The British tabloids were particularly aggressive during the filming of Robin Hood's Prince of Thieves in England, which is when these allegations reached a peak. Reports of Costner's purported affair with a receptionist at a London nightclub emerged, which dealt a substantial setback to their marriage. The couple's relationship was significantly strained by the continuous media, scrutiny, and the rumors that were stoked by Costner's extended absences for film shoots. Silva, despite these obstacles, endeavored to preserve the family unit by taking care of their children and supporting Costner's career, even though she was engaged in the production of his ambitious project, Dances with Wolves, which swept the Oscars and marked a high point in Costner's professional life. It coincided with growing personal turmoil. The marriage was no longer able to withstand the pressures of celebrity allegations and the time spent apart by 1994. Silva is rumored to have received a considerable financial settlement of approximately $80 million as a result of the couple's recent divorce. The divorce was a significant media event, as it tarnished Costner's reputation as a family-oriented family man and depicted him as a Hollywood stereotype embroiled in a personal scandal. The conclusion of his marriage was a significant personal loss for Costner, evoking the failures of his professional endeavors during the mid-1990s, including the critically derided releases of The Postman and Waterworld. The Postman is a 1997 American epic post-apocalyptic adventure film produced and directed by Kevin Costner, who stars in the title role. The screenplay was written by Eric Roth and Brian Helgeland, based on the 1985 book of the same name by David Brin. The film is set in a post-apocalyptic and neo-Western version of the United States that has disintegrated in the near-future year 2013, more than 16 years after unspecified apocalyptic events, followed by a plague, left a massive impact on human civilization and wiped out most of its technology. Released on Christmas Day 1997 by Warner Brothers, The Postman was panned by critics, who criticized the acting, screenplay, direction, and length. Costner's decision to star in the film himself was also criticized. The film was nominated for 3 Saturn Awards and won all 5 Golden Raspberry Award nominations, including Worst Picture. Set in a post-apocalyptic world where the polar ice caps have melted, Waterworld takes viewers to a world now submerged in water. The crew's ambition was to create an epic adventure that was both Western and sci-fi. But Waterworld is ultimately remembered for its huge budget that was higher than expected. When the crew wanted to shoot the entire project at sea instead of in large water tanks on set, the arguments that got so heated that Costner replaced Reynolds in the editing room, and a $265 million box office return that was nothing compared to the $175 million production budget. Kevin Costner's heart was soon to be captured in an unforeseen encounter with Bridget Rooney as the dust settled on the ruins of his first marriage. This encounter would set the stage for a new and unexpected chapter involving Bridget Rooney, which would add yet another layer of complexity to his famous romantic history. Relationship with Bridget Rooney. As Kevin Costner's first marriage to Cindy Silva, his first wife of 16 years, was approaching its denouement in the mid-1990s, he encountered Bridget Rooney. At that time, Rooney was employed at a television station in Aspen. His family was renowned for their philanthropic endeavors and ownership of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rooney was not pursuing fame or financial support through her connections in the industry, which included a brief involvement with Costner, unlike many others associated with Hollywood. Although the relationship between Costner and Rooney was transient, lasting only a few months, it had substantial long-term repercussions. Rooney became expecting in 1996. Despite his initial reluctance to accept the impending new addition, she was certain of the paternity of her child and confidently stated her situation without insinuating any financial motivation against Costner. In November of that year, Rooney gave birth to a son named Liam, and the relationship between her and Costner had already begun to decline. Nevertheless, the necessity to establish Liam's legitimacy persisted. Rooney endeavored to establish this through a DNA test in the early 2000s. Costner committed to contributing to his son's development and established a trust fund for Liam after confirming that he was indeed the father. Costner's involvement in Liam's life was characterized as sporadic. Despite this financial acknowledgement, he was present. But he was not consistently involved in the daily activities of his son's upbringing. Although Bridget Rooney's involvement with Kevin Costner was a poignant chapter in his life, the narrative was far from ending. His path would soon intersect with Joan London, igniting a connection that foretold new beginnings in the midst of the unrelenting scrutiny of the public. Joan London. My dear, in the mid-1990s, Kevin Costner briefly pursued a romantic relationship with Joan London, a distinguished American journalist who was well known for her lengthy tenure as a co-host on ABC's Good Morning America. This occurred in the wake of his publicized personal life adjustments and a thriving career. This relationship developed during the peak of their professional careers, which resulted in a certain degree of media scrutiny and public interest. With her dynamic presence on morning television and insightful journalism, Joan London, a respected figure in American media, had established an impressive career that had made her one of the most recognizable figures in homes throughout the United States. In addition to her broadcast accomplishments, she had written numerous books, which further solidified her reputation as a prominent media figure. In 1995, Costner was engaged in the extensive promotion of his ambitious film project, Waterworld, which ignited the romantic connection between him and London. According to London, the attraction between the two was intensified by their mutual acknowledgement of each other's professional accomplishments and the shared constraints and spotlight that accompanied their public lives. Their romance was characterized by traditional courtship gestures and moments of considerable appeal. Costner orchestrated an evening that appeared to have been plucked from the pages of a romantic novel for their initial engagement, which included a yacht sail around New York Harbor. Their brief affair was initiated against a picturesque backdrop. London characterized the encounter as both romantically significant and beautiful, as it occurred while dining on the water beneath the skyline. Upon Costner's arrival on the yacht, London experienced a profound connection, which indicated an optimistic beginning to their relationship. She was greeted with a smile and warm words. Nevertheless, the level of media attention that their relationship garnered was a complication. London identified the press's excessive attention as a significant factor in the failure of their relationship to progress. She indicated that the public and media scrutiny had resulted in her becoming more cautious in her personal life, which not only affected her time with Costner, but also influenced her later relationships. The relationship with Joan London, despite its dissolution due to public scrutiny, was merely the beginning of a succession of captivating encounters that would continue to influence Kevin Costner's romantic landscape, including his other flings. Kevin Costner's personal life has been as diverse and flamboyant as the characters he has played on screen over the years. Throughout his illustrious romantic history, Costner has been associated with a number of distinguished women, each of whom contributed a distinctive chapter. This includes both long-term relationships and marriages. Costner's romantic life was characterized by a series of fleeting encounters and relationships with high-profile women in the mid-1990s, shortly after his separation from Cindy Silva. One of these was with the British socialite Bridget Cunningham. Cunningham referred to Costner as Mr. Perfect during their 3-year relationship, complimenting him for his romantic nature and gentlemanly demeanor. Their relationship appeared unconventional and open, as Cunningham publicly defended Costner in 2006 when he was accused of sexual misconduct by a masseuse, underscoring his respectful demeanor during their time together. Costner's romantic life continued to intersect with the world of fashion and celebrity during this period. After reportedly being captivated by a photograph of her, he was associated with Angie Everhart. Everhart later clarified that the media had exaggerated their connection, despite the allegations and a high-profile dinner date. She noted that a purported grand romantic gesture involving a private jet filled with roses was entirely fictional. In the same vein, Costner was associated with Elle Macpherson, who was one of the most prominent supermodels of the 1990s. According to reports, Costner was completely captivated by Macpherson, viewing her as a significant potential partner and his equal. This encounter was consistent with his pattern of being attracted to successful, attractive women, although they were observed together at numerous social gatherings, which suggested a close relationship. The romance was not intended to endure. Tawny Little, a former Miss America and television host, entered Costner's life at approximately the same moment. Costner's attraction to accomplished and recognized women was further illustrated by their relationship, which was characterized by public excursions and shared interests. Nevertheless, this relationship, like his other brief liaisons, also dissipated, as Little acknowledged the difficulties of courting in the harsh spotlight of Hollywood's relentless media attention. Costner's romantic life was depicted as both intricate and captivating by these relationships, which were each fleeting but intensely scrutinized. The glitz and grandeur that are typical of Hollywood dating were characterized by his connections with Cunningham, Everhart, McPherson, and Little. However, the personal challenges and media pressure that accompanied high-profile romances were also present. These episodes of Costner's love life reveal a man who not only cherished the company of strong, successful women but also pursued a deeper connection that often seemed elusive amidst the flashbulbs of the paparazzi. Although each relationship was brief, it appeared to offer him moments of intimacy and companionship. However, it ultimately resulted in his ongoing pursuit of enduring love. Kevin Costner was prepared to commit to a more profound relationship as the whirlwind of fleeting flings began to subside, which resulted in his return to the altar with Christine Baumgartner. The second marriage of Kevin Costner to Christine Baumgartner, which began with idyllic promises and shared aspirations, unfolded over nearly 2 decades before culminating in a highly publicized and contentious divorce. This union, which promised stability after a tumultuous season of fleeting romances, was tragic. The narrative of their relationship, which is characterized by both profound connection and significant challenges, is mirrored in the journey from a hopeful beginning to a turbulent conclusion, which is well known to many. Costner was still grappling with the repercussions of his first marriage when the couple first encountered each other in the mid-1990s. Their initial encounter occurred during the filming of Tin Cup, and their interaction was fleeting. However, a more profound relationship began to develop several years later. In 1998, both individuals were granted the opportunity to investigate their relationship, which culminated in their marriage in 2004 at Costner's picturesque ranch in the vicinity of Aspen, Colorado. The wedding was a picturesque event that reflected Costner's romantic sensibilities, with Baumgartner arriving in a horse-drawn carriage. Christine Baumgartner, a model and handbag designer by vocation, brought her own aspirations and desires to the marriage, particularly the desire to establish a family. The couple had 3 children together, Caden, Hayes, and Grace. Despite Costner's initial reluctance, as he was already the father of 4 children from previous relationships. Costner adopted this new chapter of fatherhood, albeit with his own apprehensions about aging and maintaining his physical appeal to his much younger wife. Nevertheless, the intricacies of their relationship increased as the years passed. In May 2023, Baumgartner applied for divorce after nearly 2 decades of marriage. The proceedings garnered substantial media attention, particularly due to the severe financial and custodial requirements. Baumgartner's initial request for child support was $175,000 per month, which served as a reminder of the substantial risks associated with their separation. The court ultimately determined that the support should be approximately $63,000 per month, based on the testimony of both parties. The divorce was not merely a legal dispute. It was a public spectacle that brought their extensive collection of shared assets and profoundly personal matters into the public eye. However, the couple was able to reach an amicable settlement by September of the same year, a resolution that was undoubtedly a source of relief in light of their upcoming court dates and prospective trials. This settlement enabled them to circumvent a trial that was scheduled for December in Santa Barbara County, California. They expressed mutual respect for the resolution that was reached in their joint statement, emphasizing the resolution of all issues related to their divorce proceedings. The conclusion of this chapter marked the end of an acrimonious chapter in the lives of Costner and Baumgartner, allowing them to presumably move forward with dignity and peace. The marriage had its share of joyous moments, primarily centered around the growth of their family and their shared home life, as they reflect on their 19 years together. However, the constraints of public life, the difficulties of integrating a family with substantial age gaps, and the changing dynamics of personal life proved to be too much. Costner, whose career had also undergone numerous reinventions during this period, was confronted with the unrelenting scrutiny that accompanied his status as a public figure, as well as his budding relationship. Additionally, his marriage was dissolved. A new thread began to emerge as Costner entered into a romantic relationship with singer-songwriter Jewel, despite the fact that his life was marked by personal trials and cinematic triumphs. Jewel Kilcher was born May 23, 1974. Known professionally as Jewel, is an American singer-songwriter. She has been nominated for 4 Grammy Awards and has sold over 30 million albums worldwide as of 2024. Kilcher grew up near Homer, Alaska, where she grew up singing and yodeling, a form of singing that involves repeated and rapid changes of pitch between the low-pitch chest register, or chest voice, and the high-pitch head register, or falsetto. She duets with her father, Ats Kilcher, a local musician. At the age of 15, she received a partial scholarship to the Interlochen Arts Academy in Michigan, where she studied operatic voice. Jewel is a soprano. Her voice is considered to be highly versatile, powerful, and sweet. After graduating, she began composing and performing in clubs and coffee houses in San Diego, California. Due to local media attention, she was signed to Atlantic Records, which released her debut album Pieces of You in 1995. One of the best-selling debut albums of all time, the album went 12 times platinum. The album's debut single, Who Will Save Your Soul, peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. The singles You Were Meant for Me and Foolish Games peaked at number 2 on the Hot 100 and were listed on Billboard's 1997 year-end singles chart, as well as Billboard's 1998 year-end singles chart. While this burgeoning connection was still relatively new to the public, it struck a chord with both individuals, as they both shared a mutual appreciation for the arts and music and had a rich, storied history. Their relationship was initiated by a charity event that was both philanthropic and picturesque. Jewel's Inspiring Children Foundation, a cause that is dear to her, organized a tennis fundraiser on Necker Island in the British Virgin Islands, which is owned by Richard Branson. Kevin and Jewel's paths crossed in a significant manner amidst the casual elegance of charity and sport. Jewel, a prominent character in the music industry, was renowned for her poetic songwriting and soulful voice. She had long been a symbol of artistic integrity and independence. Her life story, which encompassed the rigorous climbs of Alaska and the spotlights of music stages, exemplified resilience and authenticity, which attracted Costner to her. Kevin, who had a distinguished career in film and music, discovered in Jewel a soulmate whose appreciation for the intricacies of life and the pastoral outdoors was similar to his own. Their connection was tangible during the event. Interest and speculation were both spurred by photographs of the couple, who appeared to be at ease and content in each other's company. Jewel shared moments from the fundraiser on social media, acknowledging Costner's involvement and expressing gratitude for his support. This underscores the seamless integration of their professional and personal interactions. This nascent relationship appeared to provide both a respite and a revival. After a contentious divorce from his previous wife, Christine Baumgartner, with whom he shared a significant chapter of his life, Costner. This new romance was characterized by shared passions and lighthearted companionship. The dissolution of his marriage had been public and traumatic, and his relationship with Jewel provided a much-needed source of positivity. Their alliance was founded on their mutual appreciation for music, an art form that they both pursued with enthusiasm. Jewel, whose reputation in the country and Western music scene was well established, proved to be an ideal match for Costner, who had developed his musical interests through his ensemble Kevin Costner and Modern West. Their interactions were not merely meetings between two public figures. They were also interactions between two artists who shared a common creative language, which contributed to the depth and longevity of their expanding intimacy. Both Kevin Jewel and his partner approached the inception of their relationship with a philosophy of natural progression and comfort, remaining cognizant of the past while remaining optimistic about the future. The organic development of their relationship was observed by friends and acquaintances, who suggested that it was a coupling that, in retrospect, appeared to be predestined. The mutual respect for each other's work, the shared experiences in the limelight, and the social circles they shared all contributed to a relationship that felt both inevitable and appropriate. Costner appeared rejuvenated in this chapter of his life, relishing the pleasures of a new romance beneath the serene heavens of Necker Island. The simplicity of their connection, a combination of mutual respect, shared interests, and the healing powers of love, suggested a promising future for both as they continued to investigate their relationship. After completing his divorce from Christine Baumgartner on February 20th, 2024, Kevin Costner has not yet entered a new marriage. As he is about to turn 70, will he have the opportunity to have another marriage in the future? Let's continue to wait for the next news about Kevin Costner's married life. Thank you for watching the whole video. Don't forget to give us a like, share your feelings about Costner in the comment section, and click subscribe to the channel to receive notifications about the latest videos.